Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Jennifer Marievo, where I teach you different ways that you can make money online working from home. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel Jennifer Marievo, where I teach you all sorts of different ways you can make money, including as a transcriptionist, doing micro tasks or data entry jobs, website testing, surveys, and more. If you are one of my subscribers, you know that it's very important to me to be transparent and honest with you about each of these websites. I do not like to recommend you any website that I have not tested myself. So today I'm going to teach you about one that I'm quite excited about. It is called Prolific, and all you have to do is go to prolific.co/participants. So basically, this is sort of like a survey job where you get paid to take surveys, but it's very different than other survey types of jobs because you will not have to take any sort of screener. If a study pops up, that means you will be eligible to take it right away, so you don't have to waste your time doing screeners. You will get paid for every survey that you take. So I'm going to go through the website and teach you about the sign-up process. First of all, it says, researchers want to understand how people think, feel, and behave. On Prolific, you get paid cash for taking part in engaging research, no silly points or prize draws. And if we scroll down, how does participating in studies work? Get started in minutes, just sign up, answer some screening questions, and take part in interesting online surveys and studies from top universities and companies. It says, what kinds of studies are there? There's surveys, games, or studies about scientific research, new products, or public opinion, from minutes to hours to multi-part studies over longer periods. It's always up to you what studies to participate in. How will I get paid? Studies pay a minimum of $6.50 per hour, easily cash out via your PayPal account. I know this does not seem like a lot of money, but depends on what country you're coming from and also how much extra time you have on your hands. If you keep scrolling down, what I like is what you see here, what this woman, Katie, said. She said, I would even go as far as saying it is one of the top survey websites out there. I never get screened out of surveys. Any problems, then a quick message gets it sorted. So again, if you see a study and you click start, you will get paid some amount for that study rather than being declined constantly, which is a big problem with a lot of other survey websites. So let's scroll down. We're going to go ahead and click get started. So here, make sure you're selecting I want to take part in studies, not that you want to recruit participants. That would be for people who want to hire people to take their study. Put in your country of residence. This is for worldwide from what I can see based on the country list. Put in your date of birth, then your first name, last name, email address, and your password. And make sure you read and agree to the terms and conditions. And then click register. Okay, so there will be a first study that you have to complete. You can see that mine switched to pounds, British pounds. I'm not sure because I am in Europe and I said I live in Spain, but maybe they're just making me do British studies. I'm not sure. You don't get paid for your first study. This is basically just you filling out information about yourself. So you're going to click on that. And you can see here that you can do this on your phone as well. You can do it on your phone, on your tablet, or on a computer. So it says, welcome to Prolific. This demonstration study will show you what a typical Prolific study looks like. We'll walk you through some of the key elements of the site and explain the terms you need to know. With our help, you'll be taking part in studies in no time. Ready? Click the button below to reserve a place, then click Start Now. So we're going to click Reserve Place. And as you can see here, they estimate this study will take you 6 minutes. And here at this side, you're going to see your Prolific ID and your Prolific email. You will need this Prolific ID for the survey, so you can go ahead and click Copy Now, or you'll have to go back and copy it later on. Then you're just going to click on Start Now. You're going to click Proceed, and they're going to open up this form in another window, but you can always switch windows to go back to Prolific. So click Proceed. They're going to welcome you to your first study. You're going to click Start. They're going to give you a bit of information. You'll click I see. They're basically telling you that when you do a study with Prolific, it sends you to an external survey software or link, and then it takes you back to Prolific. But it's very streamlined and very easy to use. I've tested this out with 3 different surveys I've done so far, and I'll show you the results of that later on. So you're going to click I see. Then you're going to have to go back and copy your Prolific ID because you need to provide it for every study you take part in order to get paid. So click Got It. And then here you're going to go back to the other page. You're going to click the copy button. Now click Continue and paste in your Prolific ID in the box below. Okay, I'm not going to show you how to go through this because basically you will be asked a series of questions. They want to know information about yourself. There's a little creative writing exercise. I think mainly it's to test that you are following instructions, that you are reading carefully. Don't just click next, 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 next. You will have to answer questions almost like a quiz, but not really. It's basically very easy to understand. You just have to make sure you read and answer the questions. And then they'll tell you, you did it, you reached the end of the demo study. Click the button below to complete your submission and return to Prolific. So you'll click Complete the Study. Okay, then it will take you back. You can click Return to Studies. Okay, in order to complete studies, you have to verify your account. So there's 3 different steps to the identity validation. You have to verify your email. So you should go into your email that you signed up with Prolific and click the verification link to verify. If you don't have that email, then you can click Resend Verification Email. Make sure to check your spam and junk folder just in case it's there. You also have to verify your phone number. So make sure to put in your phone number. You can put in any country. Just make sure you put the plus. Don't put 00. Just put +44 or +34 or whatever your country code is. And then you're going to click Send Code. Then you'll put in the verification code you received. And then you can see I have verified my phone number. Okay, so I went ahead and verified my email now. So now you can see it says done. I decided to verify my PayPal before I verified my ID. So you can go ahead and click on Link beside PayPal account. You're going to put in your Prolific password again, connect with PayPal. Prolific does not receive any of your personal PayPal information, just like your name and your address, so it is secure. Once you have connected your PayPal, you can see it says linked for me. Then the last step I decided to do is verify my ID. Then click Verify My ID. So they're going to send you to a third-party site called Burbix. They're an accredited and secure ID validation service. What you'll need is a mobile phone with a camera, a valid driving license or passport, good lighting conditions so that you can take a selfie. So click Verify Identity. So here you have to scan your photo ID, passport, or driver's license. I was doing this on the computer, so I clicked Passport. And then you enter your mobile phone number and they'll send you a link to continue the verification process on your phone. So I went ahead, filled out my phone number, then clicked Continue. Then they sent me a link to my phone. I clicked that and it was really easy. They just made me take a picture of my passport. Then I had to take a picture of myself. Then I had to take another picture of myself. And then after that, it was very easy and I was verified. So it says, thanks for doing that. Your account is now verified. So now, in order to start taking studies, you have to answer a lot of different questions. They do this because certain people, for example, let's say someone is doing a study about parents. They want to know if you have children or not because they don't want to do the study for single people who don't have children. So they're looking for certain people with certain interests, certain affiliations. So there are tons of questions. It will take you a while to fill out the questions. So click on Answer Questions. And you can see here they've got, 9 questions for basic demographic variables, geographic variables, socioeconomic variables, general health, physical health, Okay, there's all sorts of different questions that they want you to answer. Now, once you finish them, and this took me quite a while, you'll see I've got 9 out of 9, 3 out of 3, 7 out of 7. Make sure you fill out all of these. So there's a bar here, and for me it says 100%. I filled out all of them, okay? You'll see a little check beside each of the sections. So just make sure every so often to check the About You section and make sure that this is at 100%, because maybe they'll add other questions. And I had a few glitches when I was filling out my questions that when I wanted to change an answer, it didn't let me, so I had to go back and do it again. But as you can see now, it's all at 100%. Okay, so now the fun part. I'm going to go ahead, click on Studies. Okay, and here it says Waiting for Studies. So when I first signed up, it took me a long time to fill everything out, and I had this opened up, and nothing was happening. I didn't get any studies that were popping up, so I felt like I really wasted my time. I thought, okay, this is going to be one of those typical websites where there's nothing available for me. But it will refresh automatically. It says you do not need to refresh the page. Studies will appear here automatically. So when a study is available for you, it will just pop up. So I ignored this for a day and I thought, I'm not going to do a tutorial on this website because I'm not seeing anything. But then the next day I opened it up again and decided just to leave it on to see if any studies popped up. That was today. And I got all sorts of different studies today. So here I had one pop up. This one said pre-screening survey. The pay is 9 cents, and this is in pounds, so it's more than US dollars or euro. So there's 179 places, so that means if 179 people have the opportunity to do this. And this is just a pre-screening survey. So they're going to identify volunteers for an upcoming short study. So if I qualify, then I would get to do another study and be paid for that as well. But either way, I get paid this 9 cents. Once I click Start Now and fill out this little survey, I'm going to get paid that 9 cents. Unlike other different surveys that ask you 15 questions and then say you don't qualify and you've wasted your time. If you see something like this pop up and you click Start Now, you will get paid, providing that you did it correctly, okay? Click Start Now, and you've got 9 minutes to finish this. But it was really quick, this first one that I did. Basically, they had me click Proceed, and it opened up a Google Docs that I had to fill out. And basically, they were asking for my consent to do the survey. I consented. Then they asked me for my Prolific ID. So remember, you have to go back, copy your Prolific ID, and paste it in there. You don't have to go back because they'll open you up in a new window. So you can just click on the other open window with your Prolific ID there and just click copy. Then they just asked me some questions about if I play video games or not, and if I had played this certain type of video game that they wanted to ask questions about. And it was like 3 questions, and that was it. So I said everything went well in the study, click close window, and then make sure you click submit to record your response. So I had to visit this completion URL to complete my submission, and then click submit to record my response. Now, this is really important because if you do not complete the second step, they will not receive our data. They'll be unable to reward you. So make sure to submit it. Follow the steps completely, okay? So I clicked submit, said my response had been recorded, and then at the top it'll say awaiting review. We have successfully logged your submission for this study. No further action is necessary. So providing I filled out that little, it was 1 minute, took me 1 minute to do it, and I should get that 9 cents or whatever. So then we can click on submissions at the top, and it will show you how many submissions I have and that it's awaiting review. And then eventually, if I'm approved, that 9 cents would go into my balance. I guess this is British, so it's 9 pence. Okay everyone, I am back. This is the day after I recorded yesterday's video. You can see here that my balance is now £2.09, and that is because I have done a series of different studies. So let me show you what I've done. Click on submissions. You can see I have a total of 4 submissions, and 4 submissions have been approved. So the total that I have earned so far is £2.09. In order to withdraw to your PayPal account, you need to have £5. So I'm almost there after just 1 day or less than 1 day of doing studies. So I had this one little study that was 65 pence I got. This one, 35 pence. This one was really easy. It was just, they showed me a picture, a logo, and I had to describe or, say which adjectives I thought matched that logo. Now, this one here was £1 and this one here is 9 pence, as I showed you before, and all of them have been approved and were approved very quickly. Now, I will say, be very careful when you're doing these studies to read everything. For this study here about the logo, when I did that study, at the very end, they asked me a question, and it was a really simple question like, oh, how did you feel about the study? And then they had all these different adjectives. But after they asked that question, they said, we're also checking to make sure you read, so we want you to click this answer. So if you didn't read that second sentence and just clicked good or whatever, then you would not have listened carefully and you might not have gotten paid. So make sure to read everything, to follow the instructions carefully, because they don't want people who are just, clicking yes, no, to try to get the money as fast as possible. So make sure you read everything carefully or else you will not get approved. I read everything carefully and I was approved, within a couple hours for most of these. This one took the longest. I did that yesterday and it was approved today. So there actually were more than even 4 studies that I would have got. I saw a few that I wasn't able to get in time. I'm going to show you my little trick for getting studies. So we're going to click on studies and you can see here it says waiting for studies and it will refresh automatically. But the problem is that it does not give you a sound notification when there are studies available. So you might be in the kitchen and there will be a study here and you'll miss it because someone else, will have clicked it, or all the people will have clicked it before you. So what I recommend you do is add an auto refresh extension on your computer. So I recommend you go to my channel and you watch this video here, how to auto refresh your browser with notifications and get more transcription jobs. You can use this same plugin for getting surveys, and this is how I was accepted for 3 of the 4 surveys, how I was notified, because I set this up and it sent a sound notification when a survey was ready for me to take so I could run to my computer and start the survey. Okay, so this is working as of November 2020. The plugin is called Auto Refresh with Notifications, and I'm going to really quickly show you how to use it, but I recommend you watch this video to see the full tutorial. So basically, we go here, and we're going to use this plugin to automatically refresh it and set it up. So once this disappears, waiting for studies, or even just the word waiting, I'm going to copy it, go here to Auto Refresh with Notifications. I'm going to put it here that once there no longer has this word appearing on the page, waiting, that means there's a study available and I want it to alert me. And you can put in your notification test. So you can put study available, for example, and then I'm going to click start. Okay.
Auto refresh has started. You will be notified once your requirements are met. Sit back and relax.
You can see it is refreshing, and as soon as a study becomes available, it will stop and it will say to you out loud, study available, whatever you wrote in the little bar, okay? And this is how I was able to do 3 of the 4 studies that I got yesterday. Actually, 1 I did today, okay? So there were even one I saw that was £2 and I didn't click it fast enough because I was reading it because I wanted to record it for the tutorial. But if I had got that one, I would have made almost £5 yesterday doing these studies. So this is something I recommend. You can just keep this on. Just make sure that you don't have your screensaver on or your computer won't fall asleep. And just keep this refresher on your computer. I don't know of an extension like this that works on your phone. Maybe there is one. I haven't tried, but this does work for your computer. Okay? Now, another thing I want to show you is who can participate in studies on Prolific. So in principle, anyone can sign up and participate. However, they do have restricted the countries in which they operate. So users from the following OECD countries should be able to participate. So if you are from one of these countries, you should get studies. Again, when I'm just clicking like this, I almost never see a study. You have to set up something like the auto refresh in order to get to do the study. Otherwise, it's almost impossible that you'll be sitting here and you'll be alerted. So definitely watch my tutorial on how to auto refresh your browser so you know exactly how to do it, okay? Now, another thing, if you are not from one of these countries, should you still sign up and create an account? Well, I was doing some research and I saved this here that I found on Reddit, and they were talking about Prolific, and someone said that they just looked up their country and they're not an OECD country. Then she said, no wonder I hardly get any surveys. And then someone else said, do you still get surveys or have had none at all? Because you can still receive surveys if you're from a non-OECD country, but I live in an OECD country now. And then this person says, who's the same as this, they do get surveys, but only about one every 3 days or so. So she's surprised that this site still works for her, even though she's from a non-OECD country. She managed to cash out about £9 the other day, which is enough to keep her electricity on for 2 weeks. Whereas this person here, they did not get any surveys so far. So this person is not from the country list and they still get a survey one every 3 days or something. So, I mean, I don't see the harm in signing up anyways, just in case, but this is something to keep in mind. Okay, so thank you once again for watching this tutorial. I will keep this going for a few days and see what happens, because I would like to do a payout request video and a little update in a few weeks from now, just to see how this, was going, if I was able to get more surveys to give you a bit of an update. If you join this website, let me know what your success is and also what country you are from and what your lowest paid survey was and your highest paid, and if you've had success with this website. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, or share with your friends and family who are also looking for ways to make money online. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you in my next tutorial.